Thank you for hanging out with me today. I am JB Bryan, the President and Chief Investment Officer at JB Bryan Financial Group, the home of AfroEconomics. You'll see the website behind me. Are you a member? Well, you should be. We have entrepreneurship membership. We have family memberships. I even have a discount membership for active members of the military. So make sure you share this video with anybody regardless of what they're doing. If they want to increase their income, they want to do some comprehensive financial planning. AfroEconomics is a process, not a product. So, well, I guess it's kind of a product, but the part of AfroEconomics, the most important part, is me helping you go through the process of comprehensive financial planning. So definitely check out all of the ins and outs of AfroEconomics. Email me, go to the website, click live chat. The AfroEconomics team is there for you to get you set up for a complimentary consultation with me. So make sure that if you said today, like the people in the webinar have said that about 25% say they want to start a business. Well, the entrepreneurship membership is great for them because I will help you every step of the way. I've had my firm since 1995, and I will tell you some of the things that will empower you in yours, no matter what your specific business is. There's some things that we can share and help each other, especially from a financial perspective. A big reason why most businesses that fail is because of financial reasons, and most of the time. So let's avoid that. Retirement planning, definitely. Debt freedom, very important. I even have a special membership for avoiding bankruptcy. So make sure you go to the website and click on membership and get all the information. Home ownership is a big part of the individual and family membership, of making sure you're ready to do it, and what home ownership entails, and not just going up to the realtor and buying something just because they say that you can buy it, but make sure that you're a sustainable, a successful, a good home owner. Because buying a home, if we can view it as an investment, we'll be better off. Really know that you make money on your home when you purchase it. So by getting that right purchase price, by getting that correct interest rate as well. So definitely AfroEconomics membership can benefit us so much. It helps me helping you. I love the process of constantly being in tune with my own financial life. So today we're talking about 10 ways to increase your income. First, I was thinking about the last year this time. Last year this time, I was going through a situation with where I had my business located, and I was I hate to use the word victim, but I had located my business for 8 years, consistently paid rent when it was due, did everything that they wanted me to do. And then all of a sudden, I'm going to try to make sure that I keep in touch with y'all on social media. And then all of a sudden they discovered, which they had told several people around me, that because I had stayed, they felt that if I were not in that space, that the managers of that suite, that they can make more money having someone else in that space. So they found some fine print in the contract, and it said in the contract, yes, we got to read them, that if they found something, if they thought that my being there, me leaving, or them putting me out would work to their benefit, they could pay me 1 month's rent and tell me to leave. Well, 1 month's rent is not what it costs when you move. Like, you have all of these moving expenses. So when I was thinking last night, I was like, wow, last year this time, I was completely caught up in the nonsense, the nonsense of trying to, get all of that contract straight. Because of course, when they did that, I was like, I'm not going to let them get away with this. I'm going to make sure that I take this to the fullest extent of the law if I can, and I'm going to pursue it, and I'm going to let them know that what they've done is wrong, especially when they got to the point where at the end they didn't want to even pay that 1 month's rent. But I say that to say is that you can get caught up in nonsense and it will reduce your income, and it's of no fault to yourself. I mean, there's people but people think sometimes when you start a business that you don't have to deal with bullshit anymore. But no, you start a business and it's going to come. You know what I mean? And at the most unexpected and opportune times, you're going to have to say that I have to focus. So I would say outside of the 10 ways of how to reduce your income, increase your income, that a key way to just sustain ourselves through life so that we can continue to be successful is for us to stay focused as much as you can to get through those type of situations. Because I believe that if I hadn't said that I got to continue to operate my business through this, that I'm going to, get the least expensive, effective attorney as I can, and I'm going to get this settled and but I'm not going to allow them to exploit me and allow me to suffer from them trying to get ahead. And then when I got in there, I was able to fully articulate what had happened. And then the judge, ruled in my favor, and they had to compensate me according to the contract that I had signed. But if I had just let that go, I don't think that I would have felt as good about myself. But sometimes I think if I had just let it go, I might have been better off because of the time that I put into that. But, I just could not. I just could not. So I probably would have made more money if I had stayed focused. But I really feel that there's still people going into that space that look like me that do not know, that the type of people that they're signing up to do business with. And I think that because I stood up for myself, they'll handle us differently. So a lot of our life, we have to make a commitment that we're going to take some hits in order to make for a better life for those who are coming behind us. But you want a pay raise? I thought about it. I said, this year, I'm giving myself a pay raise, and I'm praying to God that no nonsense will come in and disturb my peace. It was because when you have to move, and it ended up being the best thing that I have done because I really appreciate my new office setting now. I mean, it is a blessing, and it allowed me to continue to grow through the year, and everything was fine. But last year, this time, I have to say that slowed down my growth because of an outside source, but a situation that I did shut down, and I did not allow it to drag on. So first, I want you to be encouraged that a key part of increasing your income is focusing on increasing your income. And blocking out as much bullshit as you can. A second point is we have to ask ourselves, do we deserve a raise? Do you deserve a raise? Are you in a position for a raise? Because sometimes people ask their employer for, like I said, when I, took that commercial lease holder to court, I deserved the money according to the contract that he was trying to get out of. You know what I'm saying? I deserve that. Do you deserve that? Is there something written that says you should be getting a particular amount of raise? And I work with members of AfroEconomics all the time who have signed contracts with employers that have promised to do things in the contract, and they have not followed their contract. And I'm even including people that I've served that have worked for churches, and the church has not followed the contract. So we have to be careful and realize that if you're in that situation, you need to make a choice, because you're hurting yourself by continuing to stay in a situation that is not benefiting you or your family, and it will not get any better. When people start breaking their commitments, when businesses start breaking their commitments, it's highly unlikely that it's going to get any better. So you must address it. So do you deserve a raise? You have to make sure that you have a justification for it, at least mentally, so that you can argue that point. My second point is Do you know how much you're worth? You can search on the internet of what is the average pay for a person in this situation in your zip code. You know, granted, in different areas, people are going to make different amounts of money. So you can definitely, you know, find, you know, the average income for an administrative assistant in in 23060 or 2005 or wherever you are. You know, Google the average income for a plumber. You know, that is, and it might say, are you self-employed or are you an employee? You know, and they'll say, oh, okay, this is the average pay for, you know, that particular position. The average pay for, you know, an attorney that's not a partner, you know, in this particular area, because it changes according to the area, what state, you know, you're in, what country you're in. People all over the world are watching this video, thanks to YouTube. So know what you deserve, know how much you're worth, not to even say that Google and the average person is, you know, a real good rule of thumb of what you're worth. But at least if you know that it's less than that you're getting paid, then you're at least helping your employer get a better understanding of, you know, why what you're getting is not fair, or what, you know, what you should be getting. So, and it'll let you know, like, oh, you might find out, wow, I'm getting, you know, $40 an hour, and the average person doing this job is, you know, only getting, you know, $15 an hour. Yeah, like, you're like, yeah, right. But, you know, that if that's, you know, that happens, then at least it allows you to calm down and you go, wow, you know, I do work, you know, I am putting in, you know, I'm doing this work, but, you know, I'm getting paid more than the average person too. So I need to, you know, realize that I have some things that's going good here. So we have to make sure that'll help you make sure that you're being rational when you ask for the raise. And then write down what you've done. Write down your tangible accomplishments. You know, like, write down, you know, that you brought up sales in your department by this amount, or you, you know, did, you know, brought down, you know, increased the safety for the plant by this amount. Get a full account. I had a client that retired from Verizon, and she was saying that every quarter, I think it was, they would tell them to write down what they have accomplished, not for raises, but just to justify their existence. Her particular supervisor would do it. So, you know, write down like what you're doing, why you're there, you know, what, you know, and then better yet, like, what are you doing more than is even expected from you? Why you deserve to get a bigger paycheck, you know? And then you can even put in there, because I know a lot of you are capable of doing more. So if you want to increase your paycheck, you could say, given the opportunity, I could, you know, do this in addition to what I'm doing, and that will bring this increase in income or sales or revenue to the company because of this. Or if I did this, you know, then it would bring these type of benefits, and that's why I need to have this addition in pay. So I think it's important, that's like my fourth or fifth point, that I think it's important that we learn the art of negotiation, that we learn how to sell ourselves, that we learn how to talk to each other, that we learn how to talk to people. Because a lot of times it's seen as, I'm not going to beg for that. I'm not going to, you know, but my entire career has been in sales. So I have no problem with begging for that. You know, I know that if I don't go out there and get it, and some people see as begging, that I'm not going to eat. And there's other people depending on me to do this. So if you allow your, you know, ego to get involved and you're not going to go ask for this pay raise, then you're not going to get it. And the person who will go and ask for it, and oftentimes not the most deserving one, but the one that actually knows how to negotiate, knows how to talk to people. And some people just don't know how to ask for anything, You know that person where you'll say, you go do it. You go do it. That's the person that's going to get the raise. Let that be you. Let that be you. So work on your negotiation skills. Like, remember when you would ask your mom about going somewhere on a Friday night? Use those skills. Use those skills and get that pay raise you deserve. Like, okay, well, think about, what do I need to do? Remember, I was like, I'm gonna clean up my room, I'm gonna clean up the house, I'm gonna clean up everything because I want to go to the game tonight. Well, same thing applies. Like, do everything that you got to do so that you can ask for what you want. So then a fifth point is to, if everything is not just about money, so you can actually increase your paycheck by asking, or let's say not make just the paycheck, but just increase your value of living and your value of life, because we want a bigger check because we just want to live better, right? I mean, you'll see a lot of people who they get paid a whole lot of money, but they do not like their life. They're very miserable people. There's no way that they could be happy with their very rich life and be that mean, correct? So these miserable people, so we know that money is not everything. So when you ask for, and they go, well, I can't give you a pay raise. Well, I said, well, can I get an additional week of vacation? Can I get an allowance for my vehicle? Or can you provide a car? Like y'all like, yeah, right. They're gonna ask them, but ask for whatever that if you work for a company that sells furniture, ask them, can I get, additional furniture allowance? Or, can I get, something, whatever it is that they sell, ask for it. Can I get a massage once a month if you are the receptionist at a massage therapy place? Ask. These are things that increase your pay, but are just not shown on your check. And look, and it could be, if it might not even count as taxable income if you work it correctly. If it's something that they can just, trade out or, so it's, it just depends. It just depends. So ask for it. Ask for it. Ask for it. All we have to do is ask. So a 6th point is, if you want to make sure that you get a pay raise, when you accept that job, you have to make sure that you do not accept a job that has pay that is so low that you're unhappy with it at the beginning. And you see people do that all the time. They go, they don't pay me enough, but I'm going to take it because, well, some things you can't afford to take. Or if you're taking it just because that you cannot allow it to interfere with your ability to go get the real job. So, because if you take a job that you're able to do more, you're a computer programmer and you're working as a cashier at, a store. So you really want to do, continue to do computer programming, but you're working at the store all day and doing overtime at the store. So how are you going to get your computer programming job? So the majority of your working hours has to be on getting the job in that field, walking down the street, calling people, going online, doing interviews online, walking in there. When I wanted the job that I needed to have, since 1995, I've had my own business. But prior to that, because I started, it was in my 20s, so it was a whole bunch of work experience that I could tell you. But I remember wanting my job in sales. Had to have that. I could not have become, and I had no idea what God had planned. But I wanted radio sales so much. I remember the HR department at University of Virginia was like, why in the world would she want to do radio sales? But that's what I wanted to do. And when I got that radio sales job, I got paid that first year twice the income. I sold because I worked and worked and worked. I just wanted that opportunity. But I knew that banking job that I had accepted was locked in at this low income. I knew. I mean, it was it was just, extremely low. And I said, I want more than that. I have school loans to pay. I love music. I love radio. I love people. I love sales. I love, I'm going to do this. And because of that, after I did that and went to graduate school full time at night, because of going into sales, double my income and got my degree, my master's degree at night, and was able to become a stockbroker because I had that sales experience. So we have to, because that's a job, where my sales experience was much more valuable than even my degree, because it was like, she's not afraid to ask people for what she wants. That's the key. That's the key. You have to find out what you want to do. I've always been that way though. I started that. I loved selling Girl Scout calendars. Got trophies for selling the most Girl Scout anything. So definitely, you have to find out what it is you're good at and don't settle in between. So I put that if you start too low, you are setting yourself up for failure. Start at the highest income as you can. Like say I had stayed at that bank and said, well, I'm going to do a couple of years at this bank, first. That wouldn't have gotten me to where I am now. No. And who would have figured that, right? But when I left, they were like, oh, I remember the bankers telling me, you made the biggest mistake. You shouldn't do this. And I said, oh, I'll see you when I see you, but I'm not doing this. You're not going to stay here and pay me crumbs and think that I'm going to make a career out of it. So definitely make sure that you start as high as you can. So by doubling my income that first year, it gave me a certain standard of what I wanted to make. So then a seventh point is to sell your years of experience creatively. If you have years of experience, many of you don't really realize how much experience you have because you can't look at it properly. So we have a member that is like a resume writing company. And if any of you want the information on the resume writing company, I know that they're mad because they're listening right now. They can send me a note on the name of the company, but I know her name, Miss Edwards. But they will take your resume and then they will they will take your resume and then they will actually to improve it. Like they will structure it so that even if you were doing something not exactly connected to it, they will take those experiences and make them apply and pull out how they could apply to this other job that you're thinking about. So definitely be creative, get professional help if you have to, and get that experience to work for you. I started working at McDonald's in high school, and I'm convinced that McDonald's helps me to this day. Right? Because I can say, hi, how can I help you? Would you like an apple pie with that? Right? Suggestive selling. Hey, right? So when you're doing an investment portfolio and I say, oh, wow, looks like you need additional life insurance. What's the difference between that with getting a Big Mac combo and asking you, would you like an apple pie also? I mean, seriously, same thing. But it does, make your experience count for you. So did you know that the quality of your degree can make a difference in how they decide to make your pay? So if you feel that the particular institution or where you went to college, isn't respected as enough by your employer or respected at all, or, depending on where they went, if they feel like, they went to Harvard, and if you're not Ivy League, then it really doesn't matter, then don't let that be a hindrance, to your ability to move forward. Just don't focus on that. Don't focus on the lack of or that you have it. Because if you focus on that you have it, and they're saying that if it's not Stanford, it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't go to Oxford, then why would you, rely your pay raise on that? Then you will focus on your performance and not on that. So definitely make sure that you also focus on getting the education, the information that is appropriate for your specific job. So you have all of this extensive microbiology experience, but for that particular job that you want to be an accountant, then they might be more impressed by something totally different than your microbiology degree. They might be impressed that you're at the community college taking these accounting classes. You never know what it is that you're interested in, and you deserve to do that, but realize that this one thing that you did isn't going to apply to everything. It might not, it just might not. So don't base your pay raise for the accounting department on the fact that you got in a microbiology degree from Stanford. So just be careful and position it. They might respect more the fact that you're taking the accounting classes at the community college. I think you get my point. So education matters, but make sure it's relevant to that particular job. And then performance reviews are important. So if you work somewhere and they're not giving you your regular performance review, then you need to make sure that you encourage them to give you your regular performance review, because they'll say, "Oh, well, once I'll do that. Once we do the performance review, and we'll get back to that. And you're 2 years from a performance review." And I think you're better to do performance reviews if you can encourage them to do them each quarter to get some feedback from them more often. So when you go to them to get this pay raise, you can say, well, last quarter I made no mistakes at all. Then the next quarter I made no mistakes at all. And then the next quarter I made no mistakes at all, so that when they go, well, we go back 6 quarters, then you go like, you can focus on but this last 3 quarters, I haven't made any mistakes. I'm on the upswing and everything is good. And everything is looking better, and I'm doing this and that. And, I think it'd be great that we, look at this, at least put that in their mind, because I must tell you the truth. I feel that the majority of people that I've talked to, they just settle. They just settle. It might mean in order to get the pay raise, you're going to need to change your job. And you got to get the confidence up enough to do that. Like a key part of one of my tips was about negotiation, like the fourth point we were talking about. The key part of negotiation and getting another job and all of these things is about confidence. It's about confidence. Having the confidence to put together a proposal about yourself. And you say, well, it doesn't really matter, sometimes my daughter gives me that, and I'll be like, let's put a cover on this and this. They don't care about all that, Mom. They don't care about all that. And I go, well, you know what? Just still do it. And I just remember in graduate school when I really wanted to focus on writing, and every time I would present it to my professor, my research that I was doing, I would always put a good cover on it and everything, and I think presentation makes a big difference. So if you type up all these things about what you can, pay somebody to do that report for you. If you're not a typing type person, you're in manufacturing and you want that raise, pay somebody to help you to make this, to position yourself on why you feel that you deserve these things. You don't have to just go because they do this once a year and everybody gets a 2% raise. What do you think that guy who just got jumped to supervisor over the supervisor, what did he do differently? He did something that you didn't see. You don't see what's going on. We don't see what's going on. I was just telling the principal and the superintendent at a school system in Virginia, where my daughter is. I said, there's so much, lack of diversity and inclusion. you know, that you have no idea how many families and people that you're leaving out. The same thing is happening to us in the workplace. We're being left out, you know, but we're going to have, and I'm sorry, but we have to do the extra effort to figure out what the heck is going on and why are they moving forward. That's why I started my own business, because I was like, I can't take that. That's a lot of energy, a lot of effort trying to figure out what somebody else thinks about yourself, you know? So I'm like, I start my own business, you know, just get out there and just work and work and work, you know? And that's a key point. You want to get a paycheck raise? Work harder. You want to raise? Work harder. Sometimes it involves leaving that job and going on and doing something else, doing your own business. You want a pay raise? You can give it to yourself automatically when you're working on your own. You really can. So the performance reviews are important, and encourage your employer to give them to you. Say, yeah, people are afraid of performance reviews. You shouldn't be. Get them. And if they're late giving it to you, tell them, hey, you forgot last week I was supposed to get a performance review. Get on them. And then if you've managed people, if you're managing people, and this happens to us a lot, you're managing people and you don't have that management title. Get the management title if you're managing people. Then they'll say, well, how many people are you managing, right? But get the management title. Then look at how many people you're actually managing, and then look at how many people you're managing well. Because if you go into management to get a pay raise, realize that you are responsible, and those people are responsible for your success. Have those meetings, let them know. I want a pay raise. How about y'all? Let's make sure we do this. What you do determines how I eat. Make sure that you reflect that you communicate that to them. What are we going to do to make this successful? As I was telling my daughter, I said, those teachers get bonuses and things based on SOLs. You right now look to them like, is this person going to pass this SOL or not? That's all you are. They're not going to be nice to you until you take that test, and you better pass it, because you are between them and their ability to have some extra money. That is the truth. And so it is amazing, you know, how much the system works and revolves around what you did and how it's going to help them be more successful. So when you're trying to get your raise, you're going to have to present what I'm going to do to help you and your company become more successful. Then you'll get your raise. I'm putting up the book because I want to make sure that you go to the bookstore and get AfroEconomics, Our Black Wealth Matters, and get the book. And then a final point I wanted to say is that certifications can help in many jobs. If you're in a job and they say, oh, we like people to have this HR certification or this Microsoft certification or whatever, just realize it's a hurdle. You know, you've done all this that you've done, but it's a hurdle and you can jump over it. If that's what you want to do and it's important to you, get the certification and get them to pay for it. That's another way to get a pay raise, because get it, make them pay for it, and then you can take it somewhere else if you want to. Nobody can take your empowerment back from you. Nobody can take your knowledge from you. AfroEconomics should be on every bookshelf or in every computer. Get the ebook form or the book itself. So our final poll was 29% of you want to start your own business. 29% want retirement, and it was 14% want debt freedom, and 14% want help with investment selections, and 14% want home ownership. AfroEconomics can help you with all of that. We even have members that are realtors that can help you get in the network, get the empowerment. Don't forget about the King's Day. The King's Day brunch is Wednesday. The King's Day brunch is on King's Day, MLK Day. Just go to AfroEconomics.com and click on that picture, or go into AfroEconomics.com/events and go to King Day. It is absolutely free for AfroEconomics members, and the guests will pay for their brunch. So definitely go into the AfroEconomics King Day and register. It is going to be it's going to be stone cold fun. It's going to be great. I was watching something. What did Don Cornelius say? But I was watching Soul Train this morning. I think Al Green was on. Wow. YouTube is beautiful. Make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe to AfroEconomics with JB Bryan. Have a wonderful 2018. I'll be back on Sunday afternoon talking about Let's Talk Business. I'm going to see one more thing. Let me make sure. You see, Mr. Perkins said, education matters, especially if it is relevant to the work you are doing and the work you want to do. Tell him, brother. Mr. Perkins, that's right. Brother Perkins has spoken, and he is so on point that it matters in getting that pay raise. And what? Make sure it is relevant. Make it relevant. And Kimberly Braxton Brower, Miss Makeup Extraordinaire, y'all check her out. Said side hustle to full-time entrepreneurship. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You can make your business as legitimate as you want it to be. Too many of you watching right now have your business and do not put it on your Schedule C on your tax return. The entrepreneurship membership in AfroEconomics allows you to take that side hustle, like Ms. Braxton Brower said and is doing, take that side hustle into a full-time, that's what pays you to eat. Yes, you can make full effect empowerment on the community through, being able to be an entrepreneur and do what you love all day. But it's going to take some time, and the membership can really help. And then Apostle Wilkerson says all of the above. Yes, indeed. Oh, look at my classmate, Mr. Terry, starting a business. Yes, is his top goal. Well, don't forget, call your girl, your classmate, and get into the AfroEconomics.com entrepreneurship membership. It's key. And it's a key way to give yourself a paycheck raise. But I didn't want to go into that direction, but that's there. It's always good to have additional sources of income, right? Well, you have a great day. Thank you all so much. And then she never did give me the name of her resume company, but just know if you need your resume updated, inbox me, let me know what's up, and I'll get you taken care of. Y'all be blessed. Take care. I'm JB Bryan, President and Chief Investment Officer at JB Bryan Financial Group, a registered investment advisory firm in Washington, D.C., Virginia, Maryland, and New York. Be blessed.